Alright, so this is an in-depth guide on how to add enemies and characters to the game. This guide is specifically for Steel 999 or anyone that is interested with in-depth explanation of this modding part. So first of all, you will need to find the tag scenario for the map you want to edit. So there's two types of map in the game. There are the campaign missions and there are the multiplayer missions, and those two are extremely very different because Bungie back in the day, when they made the missions, they did not account for encounters and AI in the campaign versus the multiplayer. Multiplayer was based on having its own PvP aspect to it, which means that some AI that you're going to try to put on multiplayer maps might not work. Example, the Sentinels. The Sentinels, to be able to move and shoot and do all these things, they need some form of BSP mapping, so some form of movement in the engine, but these things have not been added to the multiplayer, so you're going to be stuck being unable to add some AI, or some AI, actually you're going to be able to add most AI, but some of them, like the Sentinels, might not work as intended. They will be able to move around and shoot, but they're not going to be able to fly, so they're going to act more like dogs or elites or things like this. But that's pretty much it. So for the multiplayer, the AI works in a very strange way. So first of all, before even introducing this, how do we add characters to the game? Well, it's simple. On some of the maps, some of the enemies are already in the folders over here, because if we look right now, we're not going to be able to find any enemies. Like if we look here, encounters, and we try to create a new encounter with new type of enemies, as you can see in the squad here, if we choose actor type, there's nothing. It's empty, it's nothing, because the multiplayer map did not account to have any NPCs in it, so you're going to have to add them manually. So you go into edit types, you're going to see multiple object class, so vehicles, biped, weapons. You can add whatever you want as long as you add it under the right category. So for characters and NPCs and enemies, it's going to be under character underscore variant. So in this current case, we are going to go to the tag folder that contains the characters. In my case, it's under tags, characters. Let's say that we want to add, let's say, I don't know, a flood carrier. If you double click or even just click down, it's going to pop here in the list, and when you click OK, you're going to be able to now add flood carriers in the game. So now how do we set this up? In order to be able to place some form of characters or NPC in the game, you need to add this under AI, encounters, and then you have to create a new instance. You can rename this to whatever you want. In my case, I'm going to call this flood carrier per se, and then underneath you have all these things. So first of all, you're going to have to create a squad. So the squad is really what's going to be essentially containing these encounters. Let's say encounter 1 here, and then we're going to have to put starting position. So let's say that the carrier is going to spawn here. One of the cool things with these encounters thing is that right now you can control the amount of enemies you want to spawn. So let's say that you want to have 3 flood carrier, you're going to have to change this number to 3, and then you're going to have to put 3 spawning position, otherwise they're all going to spawn in the same place, which can be a little bit funky at time. So this way you can, again, if you click on the thing and then all the blue arrow, you can change the orientation of where they're going to spawn. And to make sure that the flood carrier is being spawned, because right now it's not going to spawn anything because we did not choose which character type we want to be spawned in. So we just select flood carrier, and now when you're going to load the map, it's going to spawn the flood carrier. Also, there's a cool little thing that I actually learned as well. You can also make it so that they respawn when you kill them, which is also cool because if you're testing when you launch the map in the Sapien, it's going to automatically spawn them. So let's try this right now. We are going to make it spawn every 1 to 5 seconds. We have to enable respawn here, otherwise they're not going to respawn at all. And there's one thing specific to the multiplayer maps. Normally in the campaign, you can change the team index. So if you want to have like flood helping you out in the campaign, you can put the flood on the player layer here in the team, and they're going to fight for you. If you put them on the Covenant, they're going to side with the Covenant and then fight you. And if you set it as default, the unit is just going to do whatever it wants. So if it's a flood, normally the flood are against the humans and the Covenant, so they're going to behave as such. But this only works in the campaign. So if you want this behavior to be also in the multiplayer, the default team of the multiplayer for the player is 0. So if you put the enemies at 0, they're going to be on your side on the multiplayer map. But if you put them at 0 in the campaign, they're going to either be with you or against you, depending on the nature of the character you had it. So far so good. There are also things called firing positions. So what this does is it essentially gives the eye the order of you're only going to attack in this particular spot. So right now there's no attacking position that I have set previously, no firing position. If I decide to set this here, doing a right click is going to place it, by the way, and then you can move it. If you place it there, the flood that are going to spawn afterward are going to just move toward this point, and whenever they're going to attack or shoot at you or do anything, they're not going to spread around the map. They're going to really be stuck where you want them to be fighting from. So if you want to really put them all across the map, like moving around and shooting, you can do this. You can put a bunch of these and they're going to shoot from this position, then they're going to move there and then randomly go to there, so on and so forth. That's essentially the logic we're working with. And when this is done, you can essentially put where you want them to attack. So this is currently firing position is called group index A. You can do it up to 26 different firing positions for one single encounter. But personally, just one is just way more than enough fine for me. So from there, from the encounter, you choose what you want. You will also, by the way, be able to choose the actor type from the spawning point directly. Like starting point, you have like 3 starting point here. 1, 2, 3. You can technically choose to spawn them from here. What this does when you put it from there, it defaults all of them to be this particular type of actor, while if you put the actor type here, it's going to specifically tell, okay, this guy is going to be this one. So example, you want every single enemy to be flood combat form elite type, but unarmed. You can essentially put 3 of these down, and you can say, okay, I want to have 3 flood combat type, but I want to have at least one of them armed with, let's say, needler. So from there you can just choose a needler option, and that's it. So far, this is the number that says you will spawn X amount of enemies. You have to place the starting position so the game knows where it needs to spawn, and you also need to define what is going to be spawned. If it's at none, it's never going to work. If you want the enemies to be on your side or not, you change it from the main encounter with the index. If you're playing campaign, put it on player if you want them to be with you, and if you want them to be with you on the multiplayer, you have to put them at 0, which is default. If you want to make them respawn over time, you change the respawn timer here, and then you make also sure, by the way, you set the timer here, you make sure to check respawn enable, otherwise it's going to be disabled in nature. And then from there, this is really also very important. These two values are going to say how many of them are being spawned every time. So do you want to have 3 of them spawn all at once every time there's one dying? Or do you want to have only 1 and then maximum 3 because we have 3 count here? So what I like to do is put 1 up until the amount of normal and insane difficulty count here. Then after that you want to put 99999 for the amount of time. The respawn total is the amount of time the game is going to run this respawn coroutine. So this way, if you put like 3, it's going to respawn 3 carrier and then it's going to stop at some point. But other than that, if you want them to keep on indefinitely, just put 9999999. And then respawn delay, just put it for whatever you actually chose before. And yeah, that's it. So you save the map, you compile it. Don't really have command window open right now, and a little bit lazy to have to open it in the right folder and what's not. But you compile the map. There's a couple of videos I made before that explain how to do this. And then you replace the existing map name with this one that you edited, and boom, voila, that's how you add encounters. So again, just to do a quick recap, if the mission do not have the enemy under actor type, you're going to have to add them. You go again to actor variant, you click on add, you try to find where your character tags are. You're going to go to the actor variant type, dot actor variant. You're going to double it. Once you're done, you click done, okay. You set up an encounter. You can have multiple type of squad with different type of enemies, by the way. So in this case, let's say that we want an infection form. You click on new instance. You make sure that you have the actor type selected, how many of them you want, let's say 10. You make sure to put the starting points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's it. You're set up. Hope this can help.